Okay, so if I was to ask you, summarize your vision for Crisis Center moving forward. You talked about SEIA, you talked about having land, you talked about having a vehicle. So those are kind of part of your vision, right? So if you had to answer that in one sentence, then what would you say?
Or how crisis center?
What's your vision for a crisis center going forward from here?
I think my vision for crisis center going forward, if we could have assets to help us make the crisis center develop better. That one is building a center.
You've always talked about having a center, right? Like if we could really have a training center.
Yes, if we can have a training center, and that training center we can make so many things, because when we are meeting with the women, when we are educating women on income generating activities, when we are doing anything, we are doing on our land.
We can do it in our own center.
In our own center, because we don't have money to pay for the center all the time.
Right.
And then
yes, that's the problem.
That's the problem. So when we call the women, and then the women will be meeting on our own center.
Okay.
And then whatever we have small, we can give them for transport back home, or we can make
or even microfinance. What about helping them start their own businesses?
No, that one first. When we have a center, it will be like also a training center, and then we'll be training them on income generating activities, and then show them. And then when we have a facilitator who is already there, can show them so many things what they are going to do.
Would you ever provide them with shelter? Would you ever have a center where women can come as a safe place to go?
Yes,
would you ever do that?
The center will be like a safe home, because when they come, they know they are coming to their own home, which is a center, which is a center.
But not an overnight where they stay.
Not an overnight where they stay.
You
in the
only
morning.
ever provide days services.
In the afternoon, especially the elderly, we can provide for them to come and stay and share according to the ages, even the mature orphans, even the children, especially when we can make clubs for them.
So you think that's the most important now? The most important thing is the training center.
The training center to be built.
There's merely built. Okay. So
the training center.
What was the primary inspiration that led you to start the crisis center? What was it that why did you start the center?
I have to start the center to help, because there's a lot of...
No, but when you originally started the crisis center,
yes,
Triple C, why did you start it? What was the inspiration that led you to that?
I saw a lot. It was the inspiration was my passion and love for the community, and especially for children and women.
But it was your own circumstances that really caused that.
My
right?
own circumstances made it, because I had lived and survived and struggled as a widow, and as a widow, which means I was widowed at a very tender age, and I had 2 children. One was 5 years, the other one was 7. And then with the culture, they wanted me to get remarried. And I refused, because when I get remarried, I could not take care of my children. So the plight I saw from me, and then the women like me who could not be able to help themselves, it made me to start telling them, and we came together to start the center. And then so many women, we have helped so many women on that.
Because
to start small income generating activity, especially the women who stay in the slums. The slums like Moroto, where we usually go, like Burkenge. You see, there are so many women who are suffering. They have so many children. So many children are born outside wedlock, because there are so many single mothers.
Why are there so many single mothers?
They are single mothers by choice and by chance, because other people cannot afford to buy food or take care of the children. So they befriend these young other men to help them to feed the children.
And then they have more children.
And during that course, they have to pay sexual payment in order to get something.
So these women have nothing, therefore they go that route because they have nothing else.
They have nothing.
And this is better than the street.
Yes. So the children were going to the street. The children could not go even to the nursery school, kindergarten, because they had no otherwise.
Right.
But when they came to the crisis center, we started teaching them about, or talking about how to manage the social
We
issues.
need to teach them how to be independent so they
How to
don't
be
need to rely on a
independent
man and end up with
yes.
more children, and
Yes,
the
and-
cycle
and-
continues.
And how to eradicate poverty from self. So we teach them through giving them teaching them income generating activities, and then giving them seed to plant in order to start with.
Start their own. What lessons do you hope the women at the center learn from you and take away? What do you want them to take away from their time at the center?
I want them to take away at the center to start living independently,
Yes.
and to start living independently, independently, and start independently and manage their families without the sexual abuse from the men, of which after being sexually abused, they can be raped, they can have diseases like HIV/AIDS, and then after all, they will bring up, they will give birth to unwanted children because they were not planned, and unwanted babies. You have 2 babies, then somebody give birth with you, either twins or another baby to add you, and you are not unable to take care of one baby.
It's just a vicious cycle. Just continues.
It is
It's
bad.
So
So,
difficult. So you want them
then-
independence more than anything.
To be independent and learn how to eradicate poverty from themselves.
And
from
how do you
individual.
eradicate poverty?
Poverty.
How do you eradicate poverty?
After giving them skills and knowledge, they will be aware of how to make their own business and be self-independent.
That eradicates poverty. What about the children? Is education a part of that as well?
Yes, after getting that, they will start taking their children to school, and they will be able to give them meals, 3 meals per day.
So do
And
you
then
think
they
the
will learn.
education is a key part to eradicating poverty?
Skills and knowledge is the key, is the major,
And women specifically?
especially women.
Why?
Because when you are enlightened, and when you have got exposure, automatically you will be able to take care of your family.
But
And
why
then-
not the men? Why the women?
Why men?
Why not men?
Men.
Why just the
Because
women?
we are most of us, we are working with the single parents. Because most of them they don't have one man.
But so that's really been your focus is women. That's why you're helping women, because that's your focus.
Yes.
Is because so many women are in single
And single. So many women are in single position due to they are in single position for choice. Either it has become by choice or by chance.
Yeah. But you serve not
Because
just
most of them, some of them have been beaten and sent away because of diseases like HIV/AIDS or cancer or children or something like
or even disabled children
that.
are sent away.
Or disabled children, of which the community, most of the community still, they don't accept. And some of the children are born with HIV/AIDS.
A lot of them.
HIV, so a lot of them. So all that make it are the ones we have to give them psychosocial support.
Psychosocial support.
Psychosocial support to let them start moving afresh, accept themselves assertively, and start living afresh.
Right.
Because I have come as a role model. If I didn't do that, my children, I think you know my children.
They're wonderful.
Eh,
I haven't met your son, but your daughter is wonderful.
but
And I mean,
remember-
look at the future you provided for her.
Yes.
There's no poverty.
Yes.
There's a future. She can work. She has a daughter.
All of them are graduates. They are not now depending on me.
Right. You're depending on them.
Yes, you see.
Yeah.
But now those women, when they see me, like for example, they see me, I'm dressed with this dress, they think Mama Rose is very, very rich. She can afford to do this and this and
No.
that. And they don't know.
No.
Just like when somebody sees Sarah,
They think
ni
I'm very
mzungu,
rich, yeah.
ana pesa.
True.
You see.
It's true. Okay. Do women that have come out of the crisis center after end up serving the center in some capacity?
Yes.
In what way? What happens?
One, they triple the education to the community. They triple the same skills and education to the community from the nuclear family, extended family, and then the community at large where they stay.
But
And
okay,
they
so
can be seen as a role model of where they have come from to where they are going.
Okay, so how do they become a role model? Like, how do they give back to the center that's helped them?
The center, when they come, when they give back to the center, when there is something, a duty to be done, or facilitation to be done, they are able to do it.
Is it expected?
Expected what?
Is it expected for them to help the center in some way?
Of
They're
course,
all,
of
everybody
course.
is involved in some way.
That is, they are expected and they are involved because apart from our core values, one of our core values is love and integrity. You see? Love and integrity, transparency and accountability, and then other things of which I take and I give. You give, something like that. Taking and giving.
Taking and giving. I like that.
Taking and giving, and then love is the most important shield within us,
Oh, I like that.
which
too.
makes us together, to bind together as one family, as Christ's family.
One family.
One
Okay.
family. Love binds us
So
together.
you said love, integrity, transparency, and what?
And accountability.
Accountability.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Huh?
Accountability in what way?
Whatever we do it with we do it that we are open. You see, I give one woman 5,000, and then I must go and follow up and see, like seed planting, and go and see. I do the follow up.
We can't just leave them with the money. We have to make sure it's spent
Yes,
wisely.
we must spend wisely, and then this income generating activity is growing. I didn't give you money to go and buy a TV. I gave you money to go and start income generating activity.
Okay, so that's
and I say
accountability.
it now because the children were not going to school. The children were not taking 3 meals. Now the children can go to school. The children now can take their meals.
Thank you.
The children now can take their meals. They are even able to give out small gifts to the church. They can give
Yes,
sadaka.
What?
You know
Sadaka. What does that mean?
Sadaka is when you give to the church. Small-
Tithe.
Tithe, exactly.
Is that the word?
They are able to give tithes. They are able to pay for their children, small, and buy pencil, pens, or anything like that. Exercise books for the
Yes.
children.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of costs with
Yes,
education.
a lot of costs.
Uniform.
And then the good thing, for example, you remember like Elizabeth Okinda.
Yes.
She makes sambusa,
Yeah.
she makes chapati and maragwe,
Ah.
and she has 8 children. So those children can eat from here as they move. And before, they didn't go to school. So they were running to the street in order to get food. Now the mother is able to get food.
Are they going to school? Are her
Yes,
kids okay?
now are going to school. Even one has gone to the national school, David, to Kakamega.
No, I look forward to the updates
Ah.
of some of the girls. Beatrice?
Yes, they have gone. Huh?
Beatrice is okay?
Beatrice, our 2 children. One is now in Form 3, another one is in Form 2, Shimulatewa and Nyabondo.
Okay. And Priska and the children?
And Priska and the children, Deborah is now in Form 1, and Ida, is in school. But the other one left, gave birth when she was 14, 13. So we have taught her how to do small income generating activity.
What, the daughter?
The daughter Anna.
You're teaching her how to,
yes,
to manage
now,
herself.
Now she's managing herself by making chapatis.
Does she not stay with her mother?
No,
And is she okay?
she
Or
was
is she
staying
with the man?
She was staying with the mother and the child, but now she has rented her house separately.
Good.
And
So
she's
she's
also making
managing.
fish.
That's good.
Yes, we wanted them to move because, like now, if Victoria and Rachel were staying with you together on your back, it would be
No.
not easy.
Yeah.
But now everybody should stay.
Should
separate.
stay on their own. How old is the daughter now?
Which daughter?
The one with the child.
I think now she's either 17, something like that.
Okay. So she's
But the child
independent
is
now.
4 years.
Oh my goodness. And
We
so
have-
she
we
has
haven't
to
met
take
the
care of
girl.
the child. And we want to make sure she doesn't get pregnant again and doesn't end up in the wrong hands.
We have taken up for family planning. You see, that is why we use one word called the psychosocial support. You give them counseling and psychological support, then you do follow-up, and then you do home visiting, and then you suggest for them what they think is suitable for them, the decision you leave for themselves to do.
How do you feel about all these women that you've helped? What does it feel like now?
I feel
So many years now and so many women helped.
I feel happy, and I can see I can see the picture of my work, which now can be seen from outside. And that is why so many people, especially in the coast, it is not easy people to call you Mama Sarah. They will call you Mama Sarah when you have done something to the dam.